Inside the Pacers is sponsored by Old National Bank.
Hello and welcome to an edition of a Pacers catch-up, kind of a midway point review of the Indiana Pacers. Joining us, as always, Tony East of Locked On Pacers. Won't beat around the bush here, Tony. We haven't had much to talk about when it comes to the Pacers this season. A less than desirable first half, but things are starting to trend in the right direction as far as the future goes. But first thing I want to ask you, sir, is just if you had to sum up the first half of the Pacers season, and we'll get to the trade in a minute, but just injuries, kind of shuffling of this lineup, where this franchise is trending, what would you say?
Just unfortunate, right? You hope that all these players, besides Tyrese Haliburton, that helped you reach the NBA Finals last year, could do something similar. Not to that extent, but show you that they're good, that they can fit together, and win some level of games. And they didn't have a chance to prove it. It's not that they couldn't do it. I mean, they won 7 out of 12 as recently as late January. When the Pacers are healthy, they're still a decent team. They're hard to beat. They beat many good teams in that stretch, but they were just impossibly hurt for so much of this first, half, 2/3, whatever of the season, that you can't even really evaluate what they did. So many guys missed games. Now that they have traded away Ben Mathurin, will not a single time this season have their top 7 available guys from last year that would have been available with Miles Turner and Tyrese Haliburton gone. It will never happen because someone was always hurt. So it was so hard for them to evaluate what they could have been, to see their young talent step into bigger roles because someone was always hurt or something was always going on. And you got to roll with the punches, and they've done their best to do that. But it's just an unfortunate start after such a magical last season.
Yeah, no question about it. And I think Pacers fans had wrapped their minds around it, knowing right away, last game of the season, Tyrese Haliburton would not be available this season. There'd be some hiccups, right? I don't think to this degree, like you said, the unfortunate nature of the way the season started, it's almost like, and by no means am I suggesting like they were trying to lose or anything like that. But it is the decision was made for you as far as direction, especially when you get that first round pick back, right? I mean, we can all kind of acknowledge that it wasn't a terrible scenario for the Pacers, who knows their superstar is going to be back in the fold next season. So kind of made your decision for you. They're 13-40 at the time of this recording, second to last record in the league. So now that kind of leads me to the big talker that happened a week ago, the trade for Ivica Zubac and for Kobe Brown. You're dealing 2 first-round picks, second-round pick, Benedict Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson. A lot of moving parts to this trade. First thing I want to tackle before we get to the protected, unprotected picks, kind of like that. Benedict Mathurin's fit within the Pacers. Do you feel like that played a role in him being the one to be traded? He's a really good talent. He's a top 5 pick, right? But it felt like his role was trending in the wrong direction with this team. What say you about his departure?
Yeah, very logical take. And I think with his time here, you saw both sides of what made him polarizing even to fans on the way out, is that twice a month there was a game that the Pacers won because of Ben Mathurin. And he could do stuff on the team that no one else could do, right? He could drive to the rim and draw a foul. He could, when there were really tight defenses that are hard to crack with penetration, he could get there. He could get to the rim and do something about it. And so often he looked special in those particular games, but those particular games are not typically how the Pacers want to play, right? They have this up-tempo, quick pass, action-to-action style that is somewhat demanding and challenging and requires a lot of quick thinking. And I'm not saying Mathurin could not do those things. There were games that he did, but he was a beat to his own drum kind of player at his best, and that didn't always fit in perfectly. And that was a constant discussion from the Pacers and him, is the blend they needed to figure out between what he's good at and what they're good at. And sometimes it looked great and sometimes it didn't. And then this year it came to a breaking point where they had to figure it out because he's a free agent in the summer. He's about to be due for a big raise. And very clearly, Rick Carlisle said this before the season on the record, that Ben Mathurin cares about starting. And he had not done enough. He got hurt this year, which really changes the perspective of this, but he had not done enough for whatever that his situation was to prove that he should start over Nembhard or Nesmith next year, right? And so I think that made it untenable for him to be in the role that maybe isn't perfect for him. They couldn't pay him a bunch to have that role. And so as good as he is, as painful as it is for some fans to see him go, I think that it was the right thing for both sides to move on and get something that fits the Pacers way better. They needed a center so bad.
Yeah. The right timing for this to happen. It
Yeah.
had to happen right now, right? And you mentioned the timing with getting Zubac too. Basically, from the moment that Miles Turner left, whether were for or against that decision and the hole he left within the Pacers, like there was a hole to fill at that center position. From that point on, they needed a long-term solution at the center. And Zubac career year last year, it seems like he's followed up pretty well. Like, what do you make of his fit and just double machine and can do a lot of things down low.
Yeah, it's a pendulum swing from what they've had at center,
Mhm.
even with their bench guys, right? Even Thomas Bryant could shoot it last year as their backup five. Jalen Smith could shoot it the years before that. So they've had Isaiah Jackson, they've had non-shooting bigs in their team, but Zubats is in the lane, flash to open space, set hard screens, make decisions with the ball at the free throw line, kind of interior big, who's just a monster on defense and is a monster on the glass. And Rick Carlisle said it. They have not had a rebounding center of this caliber in his tenure as the coach right now. I guess Sabonis for 3 months before they traded him away in Carlisle's first season, but you could even argue Zu's a better rebounder than Sabonis. So it's a huge add at the five, and it will have to make them tweak a little bit of their elements and how they play to make him as effective as possible. But given the skills they need at that position, a very good fit. They'll have to figure out the spacing part of it. Certainly, they've already talked about that to some extent. But if just the things he already naturally does are things that the Pacers need to improve on. They've never been a good rebounding team in their recent eras. Their defense has kind of come and gone, but as a physical defensive big, he'll add a lot. He'll give them extra possessions with the rebounds. He'll set great screens. Like, that's all huge. They just have to figure out the spacing a little bit, and he'll be a perfect fit for them.
No question. No, he's not going to be lighting it up from 3-point land, but Mr. 1 through 4th draft pick certainly might be. Okay. And you're getting Tyrese Halliburton back. So let's talk about that. First thing, just quickly, was this a lot? And that's a loaded question because of everything that can happen in the draft lottery. But Benedict Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, 2 firsts and a second. I mean, the second, whatever. But was that a lot, or it just depends, and we'll get to that in a second.
I think anyone who says it's not a lot is lying. It is.
Yeah.
But the reason that maybe they don't care is the wrong word, but like they're willing to do a lot right now is they just made the finals last year, right? They're good right now. You have Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam in their prime for you name your number of years before you think Siakam will decline, but it's not a huge number, right? And so if this is your team that you think and has proven twice can reach the conference finals, if this is a team that you think can do that again, you have to go for it now. And if Zubac is available right now, great. That's when you do a trade like this. So everybody asked me the same question you just did. Is this a lot? Yes, it is. But you have to do it now. And I think that the protections, which we can touch on a little bit, are certainly the confusing or head scratching part of this to people. Oh my gosh, they've been bad all year. Why would they do that? Well, if you got to the draft and you ended up with the 6th or 7th pick, would you have been willing to trade that and another pick for Zubac? Yeah, probably, right? Especially with Ben Mathurin as a free agent at the time, and you don't know how you're going to be able to keep him at that point. So that is another way of looking at it that I think is reasonable. But obviously now the lottery will be everything in 3 months.
The lottery is everything, okay? And you're setting yourself up pretty nice here. If you're the Indiana Pacers and, would hate for Zubac to rush back from whatever ailment he has, okay? But yes, 2026 protected 1 through 4, 10 through 30. So, and if that pick after the lottery falls 5th through 9th, it goes to the Clippers, okay? Tough to swallow, but this is a 4-player draft. Am I wrong? I mean, truly, impact players.
There's a lot of good players in this draft, but like the top four are seen as considerably exceptional with DeBonsa and Wilson and Peterson
Sir
and
Peterson,
Boozer.
yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
all awesome, right? And
Yeah.
so I think it's good that the Pacers were able to get it protected to that extent. And it's kind of that's not okay, but like if what you could view it as now that the trade is done is they're trading their 2031 first for a top 4 pick if they get it. And given how good these guys are pegged as, great, you do that every time, right? So
Yes.
that's a reasonable exchange for them to make because if the pick does not go to the Clippers, they send away that pick in 2031. Who knows what their team will be at that point? What Halliburton will be with Siakam at that age, who knows? But your hope if you're the Pacers is, well, great, we got a top 4 pick. That guy is our leader by then, and that pick is not very good because of one of the 4 names that we just said, right? So they certainly a lot of calculation to this move, and now the bottom 4 picks are basically a coin flip to land in the top 4 after the lottery. So certainly some incentive for the Pacers to have that kind of record, as boring as it is to think that losing is incentivized. It kind of is that way for the Pacers, given their current record and the trade they just made.
Their current record, the trade they just made, and the knowledge that your superstar is back. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yes.
It's not like you're without Tyrese Halliburton forever. Okay,
Right.
he's coming back, and if this trade becomes, say, Debanza, Zubats, Tyrese Halliburton, all back in the fold, okay, next season, I would do that 100 times out of 100 if I'm a Pacers fan. That just your team is. It's here. It's ready to rock. And then 2031 is a fake year anyway. You don't care about that first round pick. And that would obviously be best case scenario, or Boozer or Peterson, right? Depending on how the draft shakes out. But one of those three players, and Wilson, like you mentioned, that can make a serious impact on your team right away. And you've already proven you can make the Eastern Conference Finals, and this is kind of a new look roster. Yeah, you have a difference in the center position there. Zubats, Miles Turner. You're certainly improving defense and rebounding. You're getting younger also, so like that's a good piece of it as well. That would be a home run. Whether that happens or not, we don't know. And here's the thing: what if these guys come in and the Pacers start playing well? They string some wins together. No, they don't have the worst record in the league. They have the 10th worst record in the league. I mean, we saw what happened with the Dallas Mavericks. A year ago. You're not out of it until you're out of it, right? So, I think the protections are smart for what they're trying to do. Would you agree?
Yeah, if you view as a fan that there's a fifth or sixth player in this draft that's very good, you might be a little more scared of the protections or what they gave up in a season like this. But if they don't have lottery luck, it's not as important that they don't have that pick anymore. And there's also rules about how many first round draft picks in a row you're able to trade. So if the Pacers do get their 2031 pick because they lose their pick this year, they could then trade 4 first round picks as soon as next season, and that would not be possible if that pick went away. So there is some actual benefit of flexibility if they lose the pick
I
this
see.
year, which is obviously confusing, and you never know who's going to be available in future drafts or how good the team's going to be, right? That's the pie in the sky description they would give you about potentially losing the pick. But there's a lot of reasons that this trade made sense for them and the Clippers to do, right? So it's very complex, obviously, and I think a lot of fans had a ton of shock value seeing that the
Right.
2026 picks in the trade. But when you see the protections and understand the motivations of both teams, especially if you, like we discussed, view it as a 4-player stud draft, then it makes logical sense how both teams landed on what this is.
We can talk about what this team looks like depending on who that selection is, if they were fortunate enough to get a first round pick. But I think Pacers fans can be, if it goes their way and they do get a 1 through 4 pick, can be very excited for what next year entails as far as the talent on this roster, the depth of the roster. Yeah, it's a little different, but I think the Pacers are better off than even they were, in the year they went to the finals. If it goes their way, right? If it
Uh,
goes their way. So we'll see about that. But just moving forward the second half of the season, I know we talked about incentivizing losing, not fun as a fan. But what can they take from this second half of the season as far as maybe if Zubac gets out there? Do you think Kobe Brown has any sort of viability on this roster? Or what would you be looking for this second half?
Yeah, maybe they could get Zoo out there for a few games. I think the benefit of him playing now is so he understands the system just a little going into next year. He's not just flying in blind trying to figure it all out. Like we saw, granted, with the worst player, Jay Huff, to start the season was like, what am I doing? What's going on? How do I do all this? So there is
Yeah.
certainly a level of that experience that matters, especially if he plays with Siakam, Neesmith, Nemhard. But as the Pacers just unfortunately saw, any one player could tear their ACL at any moment, and next season becomes much different. And that just happened to Johnny Furphy, which is my lead into what the rest post All-Star break of the season could look like for the Pacers, which is it would have been for Furphy, but also guys like Ben Shepherd, Jarris Walker, Kobe Brown, even. Some of these younger guys that are question marks, what's their future with the Pacers actually going to be? Not that they might be gone, but just what should their role be? How big should it be? Featuring them in more situations and difficult situations, playing them more often. There's no real point now to playing Pascal Siakam a lot of minutes. Maybe he can play some, but playing him a lot makes little sense for them. I can't believe the NBA has set up a league where this is incentivized, but it is. And so I think that's what their remaining games will be about is experimenting, evaluation, and they have a lot of young guys, and Furphy would have been one of them to step into those kind of roles and show what they got. Audition for certain roles or spots next season because this team they've committed to is potentially very good. It's also their spending compared to a lot of the financial restrictions the NBA has is very tight. And so if you don't prove you belong with the Pacers, there's a chance you'd be shipped out for different or cheaper talent. So a lot of work to do for all these guys and a lot of work to do for the Pacers to evaluate who they believe should stay beyond future seasons.
That's where you want to be, though. I mean, you
It
want to
is.
be that good of team where you're cutting good players, right? I mean, seems weird, but like that's exactly where the Pacers want to be. Obviously, stinks about this season, but have faith, Pacers fans. It will get better. Brighter days ahead. Firmly believe that, unless they all of a sudden go on a run and get picked like 25 or something, then then we can have a different conversation. Okay. Tony East, appreciate your time, sir. Thank you so much. Have a great second half of the season. Do great work. Catch him on Locked On Pacers on WTHR Plus and on Twitter as well. He's a great follow when it comes to all things Pacers. So thank you, Tony. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see what the Pacers can do in the second half, and everyone's going to be looking at the NBA draft lottery come May.
So first off, congratulations, both on this and on the baby as well. Just want to start there. Just what's this whole experience been like? Certainly, I don't know if you thought, as of Tuesday or Wednesday, you might be moving. I mean, just what's it been like to kind of deal with both of those things at the same time? And just what's your just general thoughts on this move here?
Thank you, man. It was a lot. It was a lot. Everything going on. The just kind of being excited, welcoming our first kid, and being excited about that. Then getting a call, and that same day that there's a good chance I might get traded. That there's team trying to trade for me. So it wasn't a shock when it happened. I knew it was a possibility, so kind of expected it. And then that morning of the deadline, got that call, and you expect it, but when it happens, it was a shock for sure. Spent a lot of time in LA with the Clippers too, and had a lot of good memories and stuff. So definitely a lot of stuff happened. But after the first few days, after that initial shock and a lot of questions, I'm very happy to be here to join this team. There's a lot of expectations, and it's really great now when I got a chance to come to New York, join the team, meet the guys, having a lot of fun.
Can I get a quick follow, Wes?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ask where you said you got a call the same day the baby was born. Where were you? What were you doing? Were you holding the baby at the time? I mean, like what's like how long after did you get the
I
call?
was actually we went to see that morning. We went to see a pediatrician, and I was in the baby room trying to figure out the little water, the bottle warmer thing. I was trying to figure out, and I hear my phone, and I saw it was Lawrence Frank, so I knew what was going on before I picked up, and yeah, I was not holding a baby, but I was in the baby room.
Tony, go ahead.
Hey, you got me?
Yep.
Hey, Ivica, Rick Carlisle said this morning on a radio call that your ankle might be something that they're monitoring and dealing with. I'm curious, first of all, since you did miss some time earlier this season with that, what your current health status is.
Yeah, I did miss some time earlier this year. Came back much sooner than anticipated, and it hasn't been 100% since then. Still got some swelling in there, some soreness. So we're gonna try to get that to 100% and figure it out. And I'll go out there when I'm fully recovered and ready to play.
And then you said you met some of your teammates this morning. I'm curious, as you've watched this team play, us on your Instagram story, you're watching them play the Bucks, for example, how you
Yeah.
envision the way you'll fit with the way that this team plays.
I think I'll fit in great. I think this team is kind of in the need of like a big paint presence, the rebounder, screener, just guy who can punish the mismatches, punish the smalls, cross matches. You know, I'm gonna be talking a lot on the defensive end. I'm a big communicator on that end, so I think there's a lot of areas that I'm fit right in, and I'm looking forward to stepping out there.
Wheat, go ahead.
Hi, Ivica. Wheat Hotchkiss, Pacers.com. Welcome to Indy.
Thank you.
I know you got the opportunity to play with a lot of great players during your time in LA, but what excites you about getting to play with a couple All-Stars here with the Pacers and Pascal Siakam and eventually Tyrese Halliburton?
I'm very excited, man. Pascal, obviously a champion and an all-star. He can do it. He can kind of do it all, and I'm very excited to play with a four like that who can just you can he can score in a bunch of different ways. We can run 4 or 5 pick and roll. He's just a smart basketball player. And Tyrese, I'm very excited that I'm on a team with a point guard like him. Obviously, play with some great point guards, and he's going to be another name on that list. He's probably one of the best in the league at what he does. The way he moves the ball, involves his teammates, leads the guys on the court. The pace. I know playing you guys last year, that was probably my toughest pick and roll coverage was against Tyrese. So the combination of his shooting and his speed, the ability to go downhill, and him making the right play every single time, that's something that really excites me, and looking forward to it.
Jeremiah?
Ivica, you mentioned this is a team with, great high expectations. I'm curious, once you were eliminated last year, did you watch a lot of the playoff run? What stood out about what the Pacers were able to accomplish? And can you just get fans excited about, I know, they want to see you play this year, but really about next season?
Yeah, I mean, you guys went to conference finals and then to the finals. There's obviously a lot of expectations for the next year, and I watched a lot of games in the playoffs last year. The thing that I was impressed by most is the team never quits. There was a lot of crazy comebacks, a lot of like almost impossible comebacks, and that was the one thing that really stood out. Just guys never quitting, always believing into a comeback, always believing they have a chance, and that was a special run. So I'm very excited for next year, man. I think I can help this team a lot. I think I can add a lot to that, and there's just so many great overall basketball players who do a lot of stuff, can play both ways on this team, and I'm really excited to be teammates with them.
We'll go back to Dustin.
Sorry about that. What do you think about the pace, basically? I think that's one of the things that obviously stood out. Excuse me, by the way they play. How do you think that fits the way you operate? I don't know that you guys have operated that way in the past. I mean, just how do you kind of feel like you can fit that? What do you think you can do for this?
Yeah, you guys is probably fastest team in the league. Push the pace all the time. Move the ball a lot. I was kind of used to a different play style. We didn't play as fast, and so it's going to be an adjustment definitely. So I'm going to use this period until the end of the season and this summer to kind of get ready for that, get acclimated to the pace, to the speed of the game that Rick wants this team to play, and I'll be ready.
If I could follow up on that, I guess you said before you were excited for next year. What do you feel like is important for you to get done this year, before the end of the season, in terms of acclimation? Like, what do you, once you get back healthy, what do you want to get accomplished before this season ends?
Just kind of learning the habits of my teammates, what they like to do on the court, learning the defensive coverages, learning the offensive playbook, learning a different terminology than what I had before, and just getting adjusted to that pace of the game. Going to use it for conditioning. There's already some stuff that I talked about with Coach that's going to be a lot different for me from a spacing standpoint. So there's a lot of stuff, and there's more than enough time to get ready for the next year.
Tony?
Yeah, I believe both times you were traded, it was with a teammate, Beasley last time and Kobe Brown this time. How much easier, if any, does that make it? And what do you see with Kobe and his fit with this team?
It's definitely easier just having a familiar face around. Seeing him every day for past 3 years, and then he's here with me again. So it's definitely going to be easier for both of us, just kind of figuring stuff out on the fly together, communicating, helping each other out. That's going to make it a little easier. And I think Kobe is a great basketball player. He obviously didn't get a lot of chances with the Clippers, but he's very versatile. He can defend 1 through 5. He's a tough player. He's really good with bringing the ball up, initiating some action. He can shoot the ball. So I'm very excited to see him get a consistent opportunity.
JJ, go ahead.
You play so many games. Does that 31-29 game stand out as maybe one of the most memorable regular season games for you? And has TJ talked to you at all about the fouling you out?
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite games, regular season games. Could have been a little better, 30-30, but fortunately, it's always going to be 29. We definitely talked about it over the years. Every time I play Indiana, I happen to mention it to him, and first thing when I got traded, when he texted me, we talked about it. He said he got a makeup gift for me, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, TJ that just shows you who he is. He's a smart player. He's been around for a long time, and if I was on a other team, if someone was having 29 rebounds, I would do everything in my power for him not to get 30. So he did the right thing. I hate that it was me on the other end, but we're on the same team now, so maybe I'll get another chance at it.
Dustin, go ahead.
I was going to ask if TJ got you your bottle of wine yet, so I wasn't sure if
He asked me what my room number is. He said he got something for me, so it better be a good one.
Good to hear. You mentioned that you've already talked with Rick about things that could be different with spacing. I don't know if this is a state secret you can't pass along, but if I could ask, what has he worked on with you, and what has he told you about how your spacing might change, if you can tell us?
There's just I'm gonna be in a corner a lot more than in a dunker. I'm used to kind of being a dunker when I'm up the ball, and that's something that he don't want to. He wants me to be in that corner, and if I get the ball, just go into the next action, kind of into a handoff or a step up, and just play out of that. So that's going to be an adjustment for me. Just kind of getting used to getting out of that dunker and opening up that space, and it seems like it's not a lot, but that's a big thing, and that's a habit I have for 10 years, just kind of being that dunker, and spacing out to the corner is definitely going to be something new, but looking forward to it.
I guess then, does he want you to take that shot? And do you want to work more on taking that shot so that you can have some gravity there?
Well, I always thought I could shoot that shot. Obviously, didn't get a lot of chances to do it with the Clippers, but I always kind of worked on it and always shot it. I mean, I always wanted to shoot it, but never had a chance. So we'll see. We'll see how open he will be for that. And I got the rest of the season and the whole summer. If that's what they want me to do, I got the rest of the season and the whole summer to kind of work on it and be ready for the next year.
Inside the Pacers is sponsored by Old National Bank.